All right, let's see if I got some fun basketball tweets. Oh, this is the random stat meet. You know, the one that we had the other day. This is another good one. Kevin Looney tied Harrison Barnes for 16th on the all-time blocks list for the Golden State Warriors.
Kevin Looney.
Do you like that one, Terry? Like, why would they do this? How about this is some arguments about the MVP, Jokic and sit down. Jokic and Embiid and those. So Jokic averaged 26, 12, and 8 over the last 2 seasons, y'all. Mm-hmm. All right, 26, 12, and 8 over the last 2 seasons. The only players that's done that over 10 games, Oscar, Wilt, Bird, Westbrook, and Jokic. He's done it for 2 seasons. Only 5 have done it over 10 games. The only one that's done for only one that's done it for 1 whole season was Oscar Robertson. So Jokic has done that for 2 seasons in a row. I think that's where a lot of people missed out on his stats, and he's the he's the Mike Trout of the stats world. The worst loss in NBA history, Terry, happened in 2009, playoff history. The Denver Nuggets beat the New Orleans Pelicans in Game 4. Chris Paul was the leader of that team, too.
I knew Chris would come out today somehow.
Good gracious. I know that whole Phoenix team.
Over a 7-game series, Luka Doncic outscored Devin Booker by 50, out-rebounded DeAndre Ayton by 12, and out-assisted Chris Paul by 10. And he had more steals than the Defensive Player of the Year runner-up, Mikal Bridges, 15-9. Paul was 0-6 in the last 6 Game 7s, the longest streak in NBA history. Larry Bird career earnings, $24 million. 45 players make this year will make more than $24 million, Terry.
Is it not amazing when you think of stuff like that?
It's awful, isn't it?
See where they renamed the MVP trophies?
Yeah.
Magic and Bird for each conference.
Really?
MVP for Western is Magic, the Magic Johnson, and then the other one's Larry Bird for.
I agree.
That's
cool.
I
because to me, they're the ones that brought the NBA
Oh, absolutely.
back.
Did you? Kuzi had a name. Hold on, I got one more, and then I got a question on Kuzi and JJ Redick. Did you see that? As far as Kevin Durant goes, he's beat Kobe in the playoffs, Dirk, Duncan twice, LeBron twice, and that was the Durant one. And then did you see JJ Redick and Kuzi? Kuzi was named one of those awards anyway, but Redick said something about talking about the guys, called them plumbers and firemen and whatever. And Kuzi come back and said something about JJ Redick had no talent, and then it's been going back and forth between nobody's trying to get a name for himself. So Kuzi and Redick are going back and forth right now.
I want to tell you something.
Do you have that
NBA.
on your 2022 playlist?
I want to tell you something about the NBA that I love that they did. Is the talking now that they brought Patrick Beverly in the talk. I don't care who you are. I like that guy.
Yeah.
He puts it like it is.
Yeah.
He puts it like because when they
Even
was
when he says bad things about Chris Paul,
no.
like him?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you because when they started talking about Booker and people like that, he said up and coming star. He said they're not a star. They're up and coming. I mean, he started putting players in perspective. Stephen A. Smith's trying to criticize him like, oh, he's a star. And he's like, no, they're up and coming. You know, he says, they're not your stars. I mean, he even asked him, and they said, well, what would such and such do against you? And he'd go, he'd do nothing. I would stop him.
Well, you know, I don't know if you saw it, but Beverly had went to a camp, and it was LeBron's camp, and Chris Paul was there, and he said, I shut him down when I went to the camp.
That's what I'm saying. I liked him. He put it like it was.
And he said, if you don't believe me, ask them. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
That's funny. These boys they're hilarious sometimes. Let's see. Warriors up 2-0 after the win last night. Come from behind victory against the Mavericks.
Dallas is going to wish they didn't let that one slip away.
Probably.
That's it. It's done.
1-1 is fair, you know.
1-1
2-0
is
is tough.
Now. Yeah.
And you lost a game. You were up.
Now,
Like,
they did
19.
go 2-0. They did go down 2-0
They
to
were down
Phoenix.
2-0 like last week.
Yeah, they did go down 2-0 to Phoenix.
not against the Warriors.
Yeah, not against the Warriors.
Wait a minute, Suns
They
were
can
the 1
bring
seed?
so many.
Suns were the 1 seed.
There is the difference
And they
to
got the point
me
guard.
that Phoenix cannot get over the hump. Because we also remember when Miami won theirs, they had 3 guys. Everybody's had 3 guys. Phoenix does not. They got two.
No.
They got Chris
2.5.
Paul and Booker, and that's it. To me, there's nobody else on
Probably
that
Milton,
team.
ain't it?
I don't know. So I would say, Mavericks, when we knew going in this, are outgunned. Obviously, they have to play some defense. You can't give up. They scored 117. You can't give up 126 points and expect to win a ball game. So their offense came through. Luka's obviously playing fantastic, but again, like you said, Terry, he's by himself and hope the other guys are hot.
Oh yeah.
He's one man. You know, Steph I don't know if he has to be hot, but
Does
Clay-
this not remind you of when Dirk was there? They never would give him help.
right?
You know.
Kid was there and late, and Jason Terry, but it wasn't. Well, we gotta remember, Luka's only 23 years old.
Yeah,
Before
no,
we go
he's young.
So I want to say a couple things about his game, real quick. Zach, does he not remind you of '96 after Jordan, floor Jordan? We used to call him the way he hit the pivot feet, the moving around. Like he plays, he's not an athlete like Jordan.
No, he's
LeBron.
kind of slow.
But if people don't remember, Jordan was the best athlete probably in the world for 10 years. What, 80 in the 80s up until like 92?
Yeah, when he got in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
Then he went to baseball and he came back, put on the weight and everything. And obviously he wasn't out jumping these 23-year-olds. But what did he learn to do? He was sitting there and watched Hakeem Olajuwon for 2 years dominate the league with that post game. And he went straight to that floor game. And you watch Luka Doncic play, he does all those same moves. He just don't jump like Jordan and Kobe, but he does all the same moves. And he's doing it at 23 years
He
old.
don't have to jump though. He's like 5 inches taller.
Right, he's 6'7", 6'8", depending on I guess what shoes he has on. But yeah, but the fact that he's figured that out at 23, what he's doing now, I've been asking Kevin Durant to do for 10 years.
Yeah.
Or 15 years. If he's been doing if he would do the things that Doncic does around inside the 3-point line, he would be getting close to 30 points a game. I think he would be near the Jordan. But Luka is by himself right now. The Warriors is so Clay's obviously not what he is the best he's been. But dang, Jordan Poole can play and he can shoot.
Can play.
And also Andrew Wiggins is a straight athlete. Now, whether he's hitting his shot or not, if he is, almost everybody's in trouble because then you got 4 people that can shoot on the
He's
floor.
basically their Harrison Barnes.
He is. They've replaced that. So that's where they've got that missing. They just don't got nobody in the middle, and I don't know if they could deal with Giannis.
But
they don't have to deal with Giannis.
No, that's right.
If you got that much firepower,
They don't even have to
Either
deal with
team
him.
that's coming to them is not got
They don't have
a
a
Giannis.
center to deal with. The rest of the league.
You
They don't
got
have Jokic,
protected
Embiid,
people
or Giannis.
that play the middle, but no guy that you're gonna have to worry about scoring. Every now and then, Horford could score a lot, but it's not going to be every day.
All right, guys. So Terry, real quick, we'll move over to. Well, I guess everybody's picking the Warriors to finish it out at some point. I picked them to win it. I think.
I think if they play Boston, I think that'll be a good series.
Them against Boston, I think, because them against Miami.
I think they'll destroy Heat. I think they'll destroy the Heat.
I don't know.
I don't think the Heat's got the firepower.
Maybe not totally.
If
But
Tyler
when I
Hero
look-
plays
listen
good,
to
they
me,
got a shot.
To me, that's your deal. When you look at Miami, you got Johnson, you got Hero, you got Oladipo, you got
But they don't put Oladipo in like
Butler, you got the guy that plays the middle. What's his name?
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah, Bam did.
I mean, they've got talent on that team a lot. And to me, they can match up with anybody they play. The only problem they'd ever have would be the middle. And if you match up with Golden State, that's the same problem they got. You just got a guy who controls the middle, but he don't dominate. But Bam is probably a whole lot better than Looney. Maybe.
Oh, I think he is.
Well, you think and know
defensive-wise.
Steph thinks he's the best player in the playoffs still. So, just where he's at with that, going into any finals against the East, I don't know. Terry, you have to beat them in like last night when they weren't hitting. You have to finish them off and play
You have
defense.
to.
Kenny Smith's point after the game was, you don't have to play 48 minutes of defense against the Warriors. He said when you get up 15-20, you have to play the next 5 minutes
Yep. That's
really
what he
good
said.
and not let them get back in it. And so that, I guess that's where you look at them. So Celtics, Heat, real quick, guys. Predictions, thoughts on that? While I wait we're gonna get Milton on the line here in just a few minutes.
I think the Celtics won't lose another game.
I think the Celtics in 6.
I don't know about that.
I
Yeah, I was
think
getting
so.
ready to say. I started to say it's a 6 point. I started to take Miami tonight and take the 6.
Well, the reason I went back is on account of game one. We didn't have Smart out there, and Jason Tatum was trying to bring up the ball. When you got Smart, he can bring the
makes
ball.
I don't think
difference.
they're. I don't think.
Makes a
if he- I
and
don't think
Horford in the middle makes a big difference.
think
The,
they
instead
know
of-
this
the,
other game.
defense that Horford plays.
that first game that they lost, they didn't have Horford,
or
and they didn't
Smart.
have Smart.
I know.
They would be up 2-0.
And
I
Tatum
really believe
was
that.
trying to bring the ball up, and he's not the true point guard that Smart is.
Yeah.
So
Horford helps him, though. I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
He's
I
very
mean, he
smart.
really does.
Always has been very smart.
Yeah.
Even when he was with Atlanta, and he's serviceable. Like
He's
he
kind-
might can come out and give you a big game.
He's kind of like Draymond Green without punching people in the private parts.
Yeah.
You know, kind of does a little bit of
this is where the
does-
advantage to me.
does some of the dirty work
Clean
That I
Draymond.
without getting kicked out of the game.
He's the
and
Draymond on the
screaming
right shoulder,
Yeah.
and the Draymond on the
that's
left
right.
shoulder.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. But I think it just like players like that are going to do some of the dirty work. You know, that don't need the spotlight. You know, that is going to help Boston in this series. I don't know if you're right, Zach. I don't know if they're just going to blow out Miami. You can't never call out. You know, somebody might tell Jimmy Butler to play.
Go play. Yeah.
Yeah, go play. Go be 46 tonight.
I might fly up to Boston tonight and say, Jimmy, Tom,
Give me 46
I
tonight,
need you
Jimmy.
to play tonight.
All right,
I
guys,
put money on you.
we got to take a quick break. We're going to be back. When we come back, we're going to talk with Milton Baker from Memory Lane and a little NFL and NASCAR on KTCBroadcasting.com.